He's out. Terry. He's out at Disney's ABC News. They fired the guy. They fired him after he made those really awful social media posts. I'm like, buddy, what were you thinking? In the dead of the night, it had a few too many pops or something. Saturday night. Maybe put the Twitter thing down next time. So, they were bad. Like, they're so bad. Let's see if I'll show you one. The thing about Stephen Miller is not that he is the brains behind Trumpism. Yes, he is one of the people who conceptualizes the impulse of the Trumpist movement and translates them into policy. But that's not what's interesting about Miller. It's not brains, it's bile. He goes on and, it gets worse. It goes on and on about how clearly he's a person of hate. Like, I actually don't want to even read it because it's not worth it. This guy just showed us who he really, really is.
Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
Right. We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, you're out. Done. Finito, as they'd say. But, the bigger issue, again, is that it reflects upon what exactly this mainstream media news stuff really is. I mean, if everybody feels like that, but they're going around saying, oh, we have no bias, and yet they believe that somebody has bile in their blood, like, I think there's a little bias there. Just a teeny little bit of bias. And so this is why Donald Trump is able to say to ABC when they have correspondence like that, you guys are fake news.
Do you think the reputation of the United States has gone down under your presidency?
No, I think it's gone way up, and I think we're a respected country again. We were laughed at all over the world. We had a president that couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, couldn't walk down a flight of stairs, couldn't walk across a stage without falling. We had a president that was grossly incompetent. You knew it, I knew it, and everybody knew it, but you guys didn't want to write it because you're fake news.
All right. Thank you.
And by the way, ABC is one of the worst. I have to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Ooh. Unbelievable. And then he comes out with that tweet on Saturday night. Like, what was going on with this guy? Really and truly. It was bad because, you see, the White House noticed. In fact, J.D. Vance noticed, and he appropriately points out what I was just telling you. Now you know how they really feel. An ABC journalist, Terry Moran, posted this absolutely vile smear of Stephen Miller. It's dripping with hate. Remember the time you watched ABC's coverage of the Trump administration? Did anybody watch? Their ratings are a little bit challenged, although, they still have World News Tonight. They still have quite a big operation, which is why the FCC is looking into things. Well, as it happens, I know Stephen quite well, he writes, and he's motivated by his love of country. He's motivated by a fear that people like Terry Moran, the ABC News correspondent, make rules that normal Americans have to follow, but well-connected people don't. It's why he fought so hard to get President Trump reelected and why he works so hard every day to implement the agenda. ABC should apologize to Stephen. What Terry posted is disgraceful. And it was disgraceful. It was super disgraceful. And ABC had to be holding its breath, right? So then they suspended him. This was their no, amid the suspension, ABC News now stands for... That was my little addition. No. ABC News stands for objectivity and impartiality in its news coverage and does not condone subjective personnel attacks on others. The Post does not reflect the views of ABC News and violated our standards. As a result, Terry Moran has been suspended pending further investigation. This was speaking to the Post. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's out of a job.
Stephen Miller put a post out about the details of the big, beautiful bill, and he was attacked by one of the reporters apparently on ABC. I saw your tweet about it, and you say last night in a since deleted post, so-called journalist Terry Moran went on a rampage against Stephen Miller. What happened, Caroline?
Well, ABC is going to have to answer for what their, again, so-called journalist put out on Twitter in the wee hours of the night, calling Stephen Miller vile. They said that President Trump is a world-class hater. And this is, again, coming from someone who is supposed to be an unbiased and professional journalist. This is unacceptable and unhinged rhetoric coming from someone who works at a major television network. We have reached out to ABC. They have said they will be taking action, so we will see what they do. But I think this speaks to the distrust that the American public have in the legacy media. And it's why in the White House press shop and in President Trump's White House, we have made so many significant and much needed changes to press access and transparency at the White House. We've invited in new media. We have shaken up the White House press pool. And we also just won a major victory over the Associated Press, who thought that they had a constitutional right to walk into the Oval Office or to fly on Air Force One, and a judge said no. In fact,
she's right. I mean, that's actually a very, very big deal. So ABC News just lost that case against the White House. I'm going to put up what Fox News was reporting, actually the Fox News digital team, because they got a quote here from an ABC News insider. None of this surprises me, actually. And apparently insiders are upset, because they thought Terry was such a nice guy. He had been there for 28 years. But what the ABC spokesperson told Fox News Digital was that, quote, "We hold all our reporters to the highest standards of objectivity, fairness, and professionalism, and we remain committed to delivering straightforward, trusted journalism. We were at the end of our agreement," they said, "with Terry Moran, and based on his recent post, which was clear violation of ABC News policies, we have made the decision not to review," which actually makes you wonder, did he do this deliberately? Did he literally want to be out of a job? Was that the goal? I mean, you look at the network overall and they're clearly up against it. We have to watch Whoopi Goldberg all the time doing her little thing, and Sunny Hostin doing her little thing, for goodness sakes, even after Bob Iger has told them to cool it, because guess what? Oh, the FCC has jurisdiction over ABC, which means the FCC could actually not allow all of those affiliates to exist with ABC affiliation. I bet a lot of those affiliates would say, thank you very much. I don't really want to have to pay to run Whoopi Goldberg's program to begin with. Here's the FCC chief, Brandon Carr, just days before Terry Moran decided to go all cray-cray on Twitter, X. This is Brandon Carr saying, hey, we can do some real damage to ABC.
Your probe into Disney's DEI policies, their senior counsel writes, this is all about bullying and intimidation. Mr. Carr's most powerful tool is his vote on the commission to approve mergers and acquisitions. Is this about Disney's hiring practices, or is it about something else?
Yeah, this is about the hiring practices and their employment practices. Look, broadcasters, and Disney owns one, ABC, they have an obligation under federal law. We have EEO rules at the FCC, which means you can't make hiring decisions based on protected characteristics, including gender and race. And the evidence we have so far indicates potentially that Disney and ABC were making employment decisions based on race and gender, including having effectively race-defined affinity groups within the company. We have evidence that they put quotas in place based on specific demographics. If the evidence does, in fact, play out and shows that they were engaged in race and gender-based discrimination, that's a very serious issue at the FCC that could fundamentally go to their character qualifications to even hold a license. But we're going to follow the facts wherever they go. Look, President Trump's been clear. We are turning the page on DEI. The first week I was chairman of the FCC, I said we are ending our own promotion of DEI at the FCC. People will be shocked if they learned the millions of dollars that the FCC alone was spending to promote DEI. We had it listed as our second highest strategic priority. I mean, think about everything the FCC can and should be doing. National security issues, bridging the digital divide, space economy. And we had promoting DEI as our number 2 strategic priority. Now we're going to focus on our core mission.
It's really amazing, right? What were they doing? Not to mention not constitutional, because you can't just actually hire someone because of their race or their gender or anything else. That would actually be discriminatory. Again, we're the constitutional law scholars. Thank you very much. So, Iger's in trouble. Brandon sent him a letter, and he means business, which means I think I just have a feeling that when Iger is out there telling these guys, hey, knock it off on shows like The View, he kind of actually means it. I don't know if they're going to, though, right? Because, they just can't help themselves. Remember Whoopi?
Listen, take him seriously and take him literally.
I don't think that we have to. I think it would be remiss of us to not say Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Yes.
He knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean
he rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just
But can I mention one thing? Because Trump is out there calling.
Did you say his name? I said his name.
Unbelievable. We got to change the lower third, the graphic here, to, I got to cross out suspends, right? And we have to say fires hosts. So maybe the guy was doing it because he wants to go get a job at MSNBC. And maybe, I don't know, like, does he look enough like Rachel, guys? I'm sorry. I think that's the prerequisite. You got to be uber liberal, uber progressive, and you must look like Rachel. And if you can talk like Rachel in that little staccato voice, even better. So Terry Moran, we wish him luck. 28 years at ABC, now down the drain. But for the last 28 years, now we know how he felt the whole darn time, right? Sitting there pretending like he's one thing when he's something else entirely, which is what people are so freaking sick of. And I just got the news. We're back on Top 100 again. Hey, guys. Thank you. So keep spreading the word. Let everybody know the Trish Regan Show is here. We're live every day. I get to see all your funny comments. And we try to... you guys crack me up. You really, 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 really crack me up. Hey, you know what? If you have not gone to https://76research.com, do me that favor. Use code $, okay? Because if you use code $, then you're going to get the subscription for $1 a month. It's my financial research company that I created with my longtime, very dear friend who spent decades on Wall Street managing billions of dollars. I'm talking to you as I look at the market right now, and this is the kind of day like I like to buy in because you have things that are down. You get the NASDAQ off about 0.6%. S&P trading down about 0.4%, Dow basically flat, but we got a wonderful note from somebody just the other day, and I loved this. I saw it last night, or maybe the day before. The days are all kind of jumbling together. We've had so much news lately, but I will say that I so appreciated it because the person was saying how much we had helped him, at 76 Research because he was nervous about making some investments and just having that sort of steady guide from us there with our literature that we publish so regularly really helped him to make the commitment that he needed to make. So let me put this up here in the screen because I do want to make sure that you are able to go to 76research.com and sign up for the 76 report, with code word $. And you know what? I also have the link in the show notes, so you can find it there as well. But awesome news. Top 100, baby. Yes, Scott, exactly, right? We're climbing. What do you think? When we get to 1 million, what do you guys want me to sing when I get to 1 million? Peace of my mind, 3,500 likes and counting. We love that. Thank you so much, you guys. Janine Pritchard, I think she could get convicted. I actually do. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? I don't know if she's going to get the full 17 years, but I would not be surprised. Like this is a new team, all right? A new team. It's a new day. I love having you here. We'll be back tomorrow again live. Plus, we got a whole bunch of content coming your way throughout the afternoon. See you soon.